Hello there. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever we are in the world. Thank you for joining us today. This is the third in the series of the what we're calling Tribe Talk. We are centering around top tips for hybrid working in this session. Um, so you are joined today by myself, Matt O'Malley, and you're also joined by my wonderful colleague, Garrydene Greenleaf. You just want to say hello, Garrydene.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our session this afternoon.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Garrydene. So we are the two presenters. This will just be roughly around 20 minutes we'll be doing this for. So hopefully there'll be definitely some bites in this that you'll be able to take away and use straight away. So the agenda, what we're going to be going through is I'll be doing the first half to this. Mine are all just tips around the hybrid place. A lot of it is meetings, meeting focused, but then we're going sort of looking at culture as well in the side of that. And then Garrydene will be looking at how to organize your work to suit hybrid working as well. So a bit of a taster of the apps that Garrydene will be going through inside there. So I know in that bit, there's some really, really good stuff to look forwards to. So we'll just be looking at this slide for now. I've got a few different apps open that we'll dive into, but I just wanted to work my way through the bullet points here, really. So a bit of a best practice. That's what I wanted to look at first. Some of these are quite generic, but there's a deeper meanings to us actually having that out there. So try and use a headset where possible. I think that's really vital. If you have that available to you, you need to be using your headset. The difference in quality in your audio is huge. The way that people will be able to respond to what you're saying will only be positive if you are wearing a headset rather than using your laptop speakers. If you are unfortunate enough to not have a headset and you do need to use your laptop speakers, then try and keep the volume as low as possible. The reason that we say that is it does cause feedback. Your microphone on your laptop is incredibly sensitive. You don't want to be known throughout the business as Matt, for example, where every time I speak to Matt, I can hear myself talk back to me as well. So we know that it's double every time we talk to that person. I'm going to avoid that person at all costs. So you're sort of putting yourself on a back foot, thinking, yeah, it's all good. I've got my laptop. I can relax a bit. I'm at home. I'm a bit more comfortable. Great. But you need to think about your audio quality, especially if you are presenting inside a meeting. Sort of tying into that as well, we need to let other people know if their audio is lacking as well. There's been a few times where I have spoken to some of the clients that we work with, where I've said to them, just so you're aware, I am getting feedback every time I talk to you, and they're mortified. It's been this way for the last 3 months, 4 months, and nobody has said anything. You'd better believe it that they became that person that everyone avoided, didn't want to do meetings with, had as shorter meetings as possible. That might sound great on the face of it, yeah, short meetings, but they were missing out on a lot of information. They were probably missing out on opportunities as well. So it has a real big effect behind the scenes on there. You can quite often do something about it if someone makes you aware. Perhaps they didn't have that headset plugged in properly, and now they do, and now it's fixed. We can also turn on noise suppression. So your headsets quite often have noise suppression built into them. That is part of the hardware in there. So this headset here will naturally try and block out outside sounds. But what we can do as well is Teams actually gave us a extra option inside here that we can go onto the three dots. We can go to settings inside Teams, then go to devices, and then we've got noise suppression here. So this is the bit that I want you to look at. I want you to play around with and give it a go. So when this first came out, I could turn it up to high. I then went into a webinar and got a bag of crisps and rustled the bag of crisps, and they couldn't hear it at all. That's how good at noise suppression it was. Just a bit of a warning on there that if you are already in a meeting and you come out, you stay in the meeting, but go to the settings in Teams, while still in that meeting, it won't change. It's only when you come out the meeting and then go back in, it will then apply these changes inside there. So that noise suppression is key. It makes such a big difference. Back in the day as well, when we had noise suppression, it used to maybe get rid of the highs, and get rid of the lows as well, and just make you a lot more monotone on the way that you sounded. But it doesn't necessarily do that anymore. It's much better than it ever has been before. Another option as well is make sure you keep your microphone muted when you're not talking. We've all seen those viral videos where people have said something rude, maybe about the presenter. It's the same with that camera as well. They didn't realize the camera was on and they might have took the laptop toilet. It's all that sort of thing. Don't let that viral video be you. You do not want to be that person that does that. We might all have a story. I know a lot of us at Tribe have stories from webinars we've done where this has happened. Yeah, don't let us tell the story where you're the butt of the joke on that one. Another option with that as well, I'm in my meeting options here, so I've just clicked the meeting options at the bottom of the invite. I can then actually come into here and it says who can present. So this is all about you sharing your screen. If you're a bit worried that there's this one person, Matt keeps coming in and he keeps sharing his screen even though he's not invited to do so, I can stop that. I can change it. Normally by default, it is set to everyone. You can come in and you can change it to specific people. With inside there, we can then choose who we want to actually add in there. Only they will be allowed to share their screen. That person that is always getting in the way, that's sharing their screen when they shouldn't, will have that ability taken off them as well. So we can be a little bit more relaxed and more comfortable in that presentation that we're doing. Well, next, we're going to look at some of the culture change as well. So you do need to drive this. Quite often it will come from yourself driving it. And it's a little bit like the old adage, if you scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. It's the same thing with the culture change around Microsoft 365. Once they see you doing things a certain way, it will get them to ask questions. Why? And then you can maybe explain the positives and the benefits around that. So one is that use a raise a hand feature. So we get that in our Teams meeting, that we can raise that and it lets the presenter know that you are patiently waiting for your turn to talk. It's probably the most polite way to do that. Rather than typing in the chat or anything, it takes itself separately. We can also go into the participants pane, and if there's more than one person with their hand raised, it will put them to the top and it will number you in order of the people in the order that they raise their hand. So that's really, really important that if you have your hand raised first, you will be seen to first as well. So it does that for you. So I love that inside of Teams. It does it for us. I've also had a, well, I didn't have it myself, but I saw that LinkedIn posted on their LinkedIn that they go by the mantra that if 80% of attendees are available, book the meeting. Do not stress yourself out over trying to find that perfect time. You don't want to spend half the day trying to organize a 10-minute meeting. That just doesn't make sense, does it? So we need to maybe think, am I spending too much time trying to get too many people available when really 80% is enough? There should be enough people there to relay that message to the 20% who couldn't make it. We also had Microsoft jump on that and give it the 2 thumbs up and say, yep, we agree, 80%, that is a good number. So that's where I've got that from. I thought I'm going to take that and run with it and let all my guys know about that. We've also got one of my colleagues, his wife, actually works for a company where they add extra emojis to the titles of the meetings. I can't believe that other people aren't doing this. And if they are, I'd love to hear about it. So what they do is they add an icon like that. What that will mean is you're not needed to collaborate. You're not even needed to look at the screen. It's more of just an information overlay. That's all we're doing on this. So you can go for a walk, stretch your legs. In this hybrid world, that's an option that we get now. You could maybe take the dog out for a walk whilst listening to this meeting. That's the way that they do their meetings on there, and it's had huge positivity throughout the organization. They'll also add another icon if, for example, you do need to look at the screen. It'll have a different icon. If you're needed to collaborate, then they'll do something different for there. But their guys now know, because of this culture change, because it's been done more than once, it's been done twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, they all now know that once they see that title, exactly what it means. So really powerful stuff on there. We can also shorten our meeting times as well, which will sort of help with that. It will help with that, the morale, but it's that culture change that I'm really trying to enforce in here, that if you start doing that by default, so all your half an hour meetings are 25 minutes long, all your hour meetings are now 50 minutes long. You're allowing people to be the best versions of themselves when they go into that next meeting. I've stretched my legs, I've been to the toilet, I've made a fresh cup of coffee, I'm now ready for my 3 o'clock. Whereas if it finished at 3 o'clock and I had to go straight into my next meeting at 3 o'clock, you're getting someone who's just off the end of a back-to-back meeting. It's not the best version of myself. So really, what am I doing here? You want the best version of me, so you need to give me a chance. Once I start doing that, other people will start doing it for me as well. It gives them that opportunity to ask me why. Why is it every meeting you do is only 25 minutes long? So to do that, we do need to go into File, and then we go to Options, and then we click the calendar, and then we've got that down here as well. So that's where we can come in and we can change the minutes, end early or start late on there. So you've got those options. That will then make it by default. So I don't need to worry about that time frame on there. There's another bit in here as well. So this is moving on to the next bit on my slide, rather than me jumping back and straight into here. It was going that extra mile. So there's other things that we can do as part of this hybrid working that we might not have needed to think about before. So one that I love is these holidays here. So in this hybrid world, we're working with people across the world, all different continents, different time zones, different cultures, different beliefs, all this going on at the same time. So what can I do to make sure that I don't schedule meetings that are going to contrast with the Chinese New Year or something like that? How can I well wish some of my colleagues that live in different areas of the world? So send this message like happy Chinese New Year. I keep going back to that one. It's all I can think of at the moment. But we'll just click add holidays, and then you see that we've already got United Kingdom in there. So I've already got those all in my calendar. This is where I can go through and I can choose wherever it is that I've got colleagues. I can go through and I can maybe add these colleagues. So now I will never miss a holiday that is important to them. Flag Day, Shrove Tuesday was on there. There was all sorts. So we won't add the UK again. And all those holidays will now be on my calendar. So I can do that well wishes. I can make sure that my scheduling is even more spot on as well. And the last bit from me is to set your team's status message. That to me is really important. You need to give that information to people. So if we're in the office and you walk past me and you see me like this and scribbling or typing away and frantically, you know to sort of, okay, I did want to speak to Matt, but maybe I'll come back in 10 minutes. Or I can lean over and just go, Matt, when are you next free? Oh, I'm busy for the next 2 hours. We can tell people that through the status here. So if we just click at the top there, not the 3 dots this time, we're clicking next to it, and then set status, I can will be busy until. That will now let people know when they go to message me, when they hover over me, it will tell them that I am working on project A. We'll be busy until 4. Okay, I better leave Matt alone. I'll message him after 4 o'clock. So that's sort of thing. If you start doing that, it's all tying into the same thing, really. If you start doing that, that is the extra mile for yourself, really. But you're sort of pushing it onto others. That culture, you're changing that throughout the organization. They will see it. They will then start asking questions. Oh, how come Matt can do that and I can't? And the answer will probably be you can. They just didn't know that they needed to. And that's your opportunity to then start to mentor these people to get them into your way of thinking on there. So that is everything from me. If you want to just share your screen, Garrydene.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Matt. That status is really good. To keep changing your status as you go on, lets everybody know what's going on with you in the day. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
Organising your work to suit hybrid working. I'd like to talk to you about 3 different products. The one is to do a fabulous product that will show you all the tasks that have been assigned to you. You know, when you're in Outlook and you drag an email to your task list, you're creating a task, and that task will also appear in the to-do. It's a wonderful product. Then I want to talk to you about Planner. It's a fantastic task management program where you can create a plan, and then as a group, as a collective team, you can then share our tasks and track them and view them. And it's just a wonderful product. And then lastly, I want to talk to you about OneNote, where you can, keep all your notes, your minutes of meeting, your progress, all your research can all be tucked away in a digital notebook, which you can then access from any device. Starting off with to do. On the left-hand rail of your Teams, you can add this app, Tasks by Planner. If you don't already have it, you can add it by clicking the 3 dots there, and then you'll see all your tasks. You'll see tasks that you've assigned to yourself, important tasks, planned task. Any task with a date on it will be in the planned area. And if anyone has assigned you a task from a plan or from anywhere else, it will be in that list over there. So that's what we're going to go to first. I'm going to pretend I'm Kirsten, and Kirsten is going to then now have a look at her tasks. So let's just have a look at that. Here's Kirsten here. And we're going to go and look inside of Teams. And down the left-hand rail over here, you will see Tasks by Planner. If I click on that, you'll see all the tasks. And Kirsten has got one task there, annual event planning. So if we look through the tasks, that's the only one that's there. And it's got a date, the 29th of October. So that's when it's got to be completed by. That's a very big task. So Kirsten needs help. And in this hybrid world where everybody's working from all over the place, how do you get that help? How do you get everybody's attention? So the best thing to do here is for Kirsten to go over and create a plan. So we're going to go to Microsoft Office. I'm going to type in plan. And there you can see there's Planner. You could also have got it from the app list over here, the app launcher. But I like to just type it into the search box, and then I've got Planner. Now, Kirsten asked, who may she approach to get help with this? And there's a team called Think Tank, which she's part of. And everyone in the Think Tank, if they're available and willing, she can, invite them to participate. So she's going to create a new plan, and we're going to call this plan end of year event. And the group is going to be Think Tank. That's a team. It's a team. So she's calling in, she's joining this plan to that team, and then she can create that plan. That means that all the members of the Think Tank will be available. Now she's going to add her tasks. Just from the top of the head, she says, well, the first thing is the venue. I'm concerned about the venue. I've got to source a venue. The next thing is I need a budget. What am I working with? Then I have meals to worry about. Meals to be, there's going to be a vegetarian, a vegan, I've got to organize the meals. The seating plan is always a headache, isn't it? Because someone's going to be having to look after the seating plan and so forth. So she's got all the tasks over there. She'll be adding more as we go along, but that's just started off so she can sleep well tonight. She's at least got them there. What she can do now is she can go to the 3 dots there at the top for more and copy a link to the plan. Now it's in the clipboard. What she needs to do now is to set up a meeting. So she'll go over to calendar and she'll set up a meeting for, let's say, Thursday. And she'll set up a meeting for Thursday afternoon. Let's say, that'll be fine. And then she's going to invite those participants along. So I'm just going to put in a few people's names in here. Planning event. And I'll just put those 3 in there. There should always be an agenda. So she should put in an agenda. and we just plan in. And now she can put a link to the plan there. So we can say we have a plan, and we can say the link to the plan. So everybody goes, "Ooh, there's a plan. I've got to check out this plan." So what I do now is I select that, and then I go to my link, and then I can paste it in there and insert it. And now there's the link to the plan, and I can send it. So when a person opens up that plan, it will be there. So when they open up the plan, when they get the meeting invite, they click on the plan, it will bring them here to end of year event. So now we're all in the meeting, and now we can assign tasks. So we're going to say the seating plan, I'm going to assign that to Darshan. And it's important. So I'll put that over there. Oh, what about invitations? We need to add, invitations as well. Then there's got meals over there. We'll assign that to Garrydene. And when does that have to be done by? That has to be done by, let's say, the 29th. And then the budget, that's very urgent. That's important. And it has to be done by Monday. And we need to assign that to someone. We'll assign that to Jeff. So I've assigned, and then there's the venue. I think I'm going to take on that task. So I'll assign that to Garrydene, and that is urgent, because without knowing where the venue is, nothing else can get started. So we'll say, well, that needs to be done Monday as well. Well, actually, let's just say it's got to be done by Friday. Now you can group here, and you can say, well, how about I assign things? You can see, some people have got, is there anything unassigned? Who's got more tasks than others? You can see the progress. Next time we have a meeting and people go, oh, well, actually, that's actually really in progress. You can move it across. The budget's in progress. Anything is completed, you can already put that in. So you've got all of this to choose to view it by different ways. You can also see it in a schedule. So if there is a change and you need to, change things around, you can then just move them around. I could just say, well, that's moving to that date. We're gonna move that, to that date, meals by. You see, so it's really easy to change things around. So this is the board. Here you've got charts over here where you can see things. You've also got schedule as well. And then you can filter them by today, tomorrow, next week. So you've got lots of views that you can look at. So that is Planner. And now we're going to go back to our Teams. And now let's go and have a look at the to-do list. Everybody's got a to-do list. So these tasks that you've assigned are also going to be in that person's to-do list. So tasks, important, and so forth. Inside of Teams, we can actually go to the team itself, the think tank team. We can open it up, and we can go to a channel, and we can add it to the top. So we can add this plan that we've put in. We just search for tasks by planner, so that it comes up. It says, is it a new plan? You can actually create a new plan right here, but I'm going to use this existing plan. And it's the end of the year event, and I save it. And now it's there. And when a person comes in, they could be in a different team. And then they come to the think tank. And we've put it in the general channel, but you could put it in any channel which is appropriate. And then they just click on the tab over there, and they can see everything, and everybody can work from that. So that is a wonderful way to not have fear of being overlooked, and fear of missing out. When you create a plan like that for a team, it doesn't have to be for a particular project. You could just say generally, these are the tasks for the team, and then you can put it up there so everybody can see what is on the table, who is doing what. And another wonderful thing, if we just look at the budget over here, I could break that down, and I could say there's a few more things I want to worry about. I've got to be looking at budgeting for meals, budgeting for drinks, budgeting for entertainment. So you can break it down like that, and I can even have an attachment. I can say, well, I want to attach a file. I'm just going to put in the spreadsheet over here. And it's there. So when people say, where is the file? It is attached over here. Do you see it's got a little attachment over here? You click on it, and there is the attachment there. You can also see it in files. If we go to files over here, you'll be able to see all your files as well when that's uploaded. It just takes a bit of time to upload. So everything is there. If a person says, who's going to be doing the presentation? They just go to the plan. They can see, and also they can go and have a look at the file itself, and they can say, well, right, what is going on? I can open it up. I can have a look at it. I can see the progress. So it's all in one place. So that's all I want to talk to you about. Thank you very much, and I'll hand you back over to Matt. Thanks, Matt.
Yes, there's some really good stuff there from Garrydene. Hopefully you'll all agree on that one. The way that we can seamlessly work through To-Do and Planner, and then Planner is also shown in your To-Do, that tasks by Planner and To-Do, that app that you can add into Teams. It will help you out massively if you do have that. Just to add, I'd also recommend pinning that app to the left-hand rail on there, so you just get a bit of ease of access on that one. But yeah, really good stuff on there. So yeah, that's everything from the both of us, really. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has managed to make it today. Big thank you to anyone as well that's watching the recordings on these. We are doing these sessions for free, and they are public sessions, so there's no customers or clients for us. We are just doing this as almost as a public service, putting it out there. So hopefully you can let other people know about this, so we can get more of a crowd in to keep joining us, and potentially maybe make it a bit more collaborative, and we can start to have a bit more fun with these. We have got some topics lined out, but if you want to suggest any topics, we're always open for feedback. So send us a comment, a follow and a comment on LinkedIn. Get that message across in there. We'll start a sort of conversation with you on there as well. So it's a really big thank you from myself. If you want to say thanks as well, Garrydene.
Yes, thank you very much for joining in and watching. And I hope that these tips you're going to take back to work and make speed with them.
Excellent. Yeah, I echo all of that. A massive thank you. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one as well. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.